Right now, in this exact moment, you face a choice. One decision today will define your tomorrow. One decisive action can set the course for a life of purpose, growth, and unstoppable momentum. Every distraction, every excuse, every hesitation is costing you your potential. This isn't theory, it's the truth. Today you will learn how to stop drifting and start living a life designed by your choices. One decision, one action, one life transformed. Chapter 1. Stop waiting, start deciding. You have a choice. Right now. You can keep waiting, hoping the perfect moment will appear. Or you can decide. That's the key. Waiting never creates results. Waiting never builds momentum. Waiting guarantees mediocrity. And the harsh truth? The perfect moment doesn't exist. It's an illusion. A trap. A way to let life pass while you sit on the sidelines. Think about it. Every great achievement in history started with a decision. Entrepreneurs, athletes, leaders, they didn't wait. They acted. They made a choice, often with incomplete information. They made a decision even when the odds were against them. They embraced uncertainty. They embraced risk. And that's why they succeeded. Let's break this down. Indecision is the silent killer of potential. You sit, you hesitate, you analyze. You wait for a sign, for clarity, for permission. But life doesn't give permission. Life doesn't send signs. Life gives opportunity to those who decide. And the moment to decide is now. Not tomorrow. Not later. No. Repeat it. Say it in your mind. No. Here's the first danger of indecision. Lost time. Every day you wait is a day you cannot get back. Every day you hesitate is a day someone else moves forward. Opportunity is like water. It flows. And if you do not grasp it, it passes. That's the cost. Every missed opportunity compounds into regret. Every "I'll wait" grows into "I should have." You don't need their permission to start. You don't need the perfect conditions. You don't need the perfect plan. You need one thing, the courage to decide. Now let's talk real-world examples. Consider Sarah Blakely, the founder of Spanx. She had a rough job, little capital, and no clear blueprint for success. But she had one decision. One choice to take action. She decided to create her product, patent it, and sell it herself. No one told her to do it. No one approved it. She decided, acted, and transformed her life. That's the power of a single decision. And you can do the same. Or look at Michael Jordan. He didn't wait until he was perfect. He failed, he missed shots, he lost games. But at every critical moment, he chose to act. He chose to compete. He chose to push. He made a decision to be great repeatedly, every day. That decision, the decision to act despite fear, despite uncertainty, built a legacy. You can build your legacy too, but only if you decide. So how do you stop waiting? How do you break the cycle of indecision? It starts with recognizing the truth. Nothing will come to you if you do nothing. Not success, not growth, not clarity, nothing. That's why waiting is a trap. Waiting feels safe. Waiting feels responsible. But in reality, waiting is surrender. Every day you wait, someone else takes your opportunity. Every day you hesitate, you give up your potential. And here's the harshest truth. The more you wait, the harder it gets to start. Momentum is built on action, not intention. Here's a practical way to begin. Step 1. Identify one thing you have been hesitating on. One action, one call, one project. Stop rationalizing. Stop overthinking. Stop analyzing until you are paralyzed. That's the trap. Step 2. Set a deadline. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 1 hour. And then act. Not perfectly. Not completely prepared. Just act. You have a choice. That's the key. Action, no matter how small, breaks the chains of indecision. Step 3. Repeat. Every day. One small decision after another. Build momentum. Build courage. Build results. Let's reinforce that mantra. The moment to decide is now. Not tomorrow. Not later. No. Say it again. No. Because every moment you delay is a moment wasted. Every second you hesitate is energy spent on nothing. And energy is life. Time is life. Your choices define your life. Decide now. And understand this. Indecision is not laziness. Indecision is fear disguised as caution. fear of failure, fear of criticism, fear of making the wrong choice. But let me tell you something, you will never be free of fear. The perfect time will never come. The perfect conditions will never appear. You're always going to feel some fear. And that's why you decide anyway. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is the decision to move forward despite fear. That's the key. Here's another real-world example. Jeff Bezos. He left a stable, high-paying job to start Amazon. He didn't wait until he knew everything. He didn't wait for approval. He made a choice. That one decision, leaving the comfort of certainty, created one of the most valuable companies in history. You have the same power. One decision today can redefine your tomorrow. One decision can set the course for lifelong growth, fulfillment, and purpose. Now let's make it actionable for you. Write down one decision you've been postponing. It could be personal, professional, health-related, relationship-related. Just one. Then commit. Decide. Set a small, actionable step to execute that decision within 24 hours. That's how transformation begins. One choice. One action. That's all it takes. You don't need their permission. You don't need a perfect plan. You just need to act. That's the key. And remember, momentum is the reward of action. One decision leads to another. One action leads to another. Decisions compound like interest. Hesitation compounds into regret. Which do you want? Regret or momentum? Decide. Repeat. That's how success is built. That's how fulfillment is built. That's how your life is built. So, right now, as you listen to this, make your choice. Decide something. Anything. It doesn't have to be massive. It doesn't have to be perfect. But decide. Start small. Start now. Build momentum. Let courage replace fear. Let action replace hesitation. You have a choice. That's the key. The moment to decide is now. Not tomorrow. Not later. No. You've learned the danger of waiting. You've seen the cost of indecision. You've studied real-world examples of people who acted despite fear and uncertainty. And now it's time to apply it. Because knowledge without action is useless. You must decide. And when you do, you unlock a chain reaction of growth, purpose, and fulfillment. You mastered the first step, confronting indecision. You learned the power of choosing now. You broke the cycle of waiting. And now it's time to take the next step. The step that turns choices into systems, actions into habits, and decisions into a life of real impact. Next, let's talk about the true cost of every single choice you make. Chapter 2, The Hidden Cost of Small Choices. You have a choice. Right now, you are making hundreds of tiny choices without even realizing it. Every scroll of your phone, every bite of food, every skipped workout, every moment you choose comfort over growth. Every single choice matters. That's the key. Small decisions shape your destiny. Every day, every choice matters. Repeat it. Every choice matters. Here's the truth. Life is not built in grand moments alone. It's built in the small decisions you make over and over. The ones nobody sees. The ones you think are insignificant. The ones you brush off as harmless. But here's the reality, they are not harmless. They are the foundation of your future. Every small choice compounds into lifelong results, for better or worse. And if you ignore it, you are silently giving up the life you could have had. Let's get practical. You check your phone first thing in the morning. 5 minutes? 10 minutes? Maybe 30? That choice seems small, insignificant. But over a year, those small moments add up to hundreds of hours lost to distraction. That's time you cannot get back. That's focus you cannot reclaim. That's energy you could have spent building skills, relationships, and results. Every small choice shapes your destiny. Every day, every choice matters. Think about your health. You skip a workout because you're tired. You eat the easy option instead of the healthy one. Maybe you tell yourself it doesn't matter. But habits compound. One skipped workout becomes 2. 2 becomes 5. One unhealthy meal becomes 2. 2 becomes 5. Months pass and suddenly you're not the person you thought you'd be. You have a choice. That's the key. Choose discipline over comfort. Choose action over delay. Small decisions shape your destiny. Every day, Every choice matters. Let's bring in a real-world example. Consider Warren Buffett. He didn't make his fortune in one big decision. He made thousands of small, smart choices consistently over decades. He read every day. He avoided distractions. He invested consistently. Every decision, no matter how small, compounded into enormous wealth. That's the power of small decisions. That's the hidden cost of neglecting them, or the hidden reward of mastering them. Every choice matters. Every day. Repeat it. Every choice matters. Here's another example, this time in health and performance. Olympic athletes don't win gold by showing up once a year. They win by making hundreds of small decisions daily, training when it's inconvenient, eating the right meals, sleeping enough, visualizing success. One bad choice can be made up, but repeated bad choices destroy results. One small good choice repeated consistently builds unstoppable momentum. That's the key. Discipline compounds. Small decisions shape your destiny. Every day, every choice matters. So how do you start applying this today? First, awareness. Track your small choices. Where are you wasting energy? Where are you giving in to comfort? Where are you delaying growth? Write it down. Be honest. Small decisions shape your destiny. Every day, every choice matters. Once you see them, you can change them. Step 2. Pick one area to dominate with small, intentional choices. Health, relationships, career, finances. Choose one. Then create one small habit that pushes you forward. Exercise 10 minutes daily. Read 5 pages daily. Save a small amount daily. That's it. Start small. Start now. Small decisions shape your destiny. Every day, every choice matters. Repeat it again in your mind. Every choice matters. Step 3. Reinforce with accountability. Tell someone. Track progress. Measure outcomes. Small choices often feel invisible, but they are powerful. When you hold yourself accountable, they become undeniable forces shaping your life. That's the key. Every choice matters. Every day, every decision compounds. Let's pause and make it real. Think about the last week. How many small choices were wasted? How many went toward your growth? How many fed distraction, comfort, or procrastination? Be honest. That's where your results are hiding. That's where your success or failure is born. Small decisions shape your destiny. Every day, every choice matters. Repeat it. Every choice matters. Now let's examine habits. Habits are nothing more than repeated small choices. Brush your teeth. Drink water. Wake up early. Exercise. Read. Each small choice seems minor in isolation, but over months and years they compound into identity. Who you are tomorrow is a direct result of the tiny choices you make today. And here's the critical point. You are always choosing. Even inaction is a choice. Even procrastination is a choice. That's the key. Choose wisely. Small decisions shape your destiny. Every day, every choice matters. Here's a behavioral instruction. Pick one habit that feels small but impactful. Something you can do every day without fail. 5 push-ups. 10 minutes reading. Saving $1. Commit to it for 30 days. Track it. Repeat it. Then add another. Build layers. Small choices compound. Momentum builds. Confidence builds. Growth builds. That's the key. Every choice matters. Every day. Repeat it. Every choice matters. Now let's confront the hidden danger. Ignoring small choices creates silent regret. People often focus on big failures. Jobs lost, relationships ended, money wasted. But most failure is a slow accumulation of tiny, avoidable choices. Skipping practice. Watching TV instead of learning. Avoiding responsibility. Saying yes to convenience. These are the small choices that destroy dreams quietly, invisibly, until it's too late. That's the cost. That's why awareness matters. That's why discipline matters. Small decisions shape your destiny. Every day, every choice matters. And here's the liberating truth. Mastery is the same. Every successful person you admire achieved it through small, smart, consistent decisions. They didn't wait for motivation. They didn't wait for perfect conditions. They decided every day to do the right thing, the disciplined thing, the growth-focused thing. That's the key. You can do the same. You don't need permission. You don't need approval. You don't need perfection. You just need to choose. Every choice matters. Every day. Repeat it. Every choice matters. So let's make it actionable. Awareness. Track every small decision for 1 week. Identify what moves you forward, what holds you back. Action. Choose one area of your life. Implement one small, intentional habit. Do it consistently. Reinforcement. Track, measure, and hold yourself accountable. Repeat the process. Build momentum. Build identity. Build your destiny. Remember, it's not about one massive choice. It's about thousands of small daily choices compounded over time. That's the hidden cost of neglecting them. That's the hidden power of mastering them. Small decisions shape your destiny. Every day, every choice matters. Repeat it in your mind. Every choice matters. You've learned the cost of small choices. You've seen how habits compound. You've learned the path to leverage them for growth. Now it's time to confront the bigger decisions, the ones that break cycles, transform identity, and create lasting impact. Next, we'll explore how to identify and act on the one pivotal decision that can break your patterns and redefine your life. Chapter 3. One decision to break the pattern. You have a choice. Right now. Right at this moment. You can continue doing what you've always done, following the same routines, making the same excuses, living the same results. Or, you can make one decision. One decisive action that shatters the cycle and moves you forward. That's the key. Break the pattern. Make the choice. Change everything. Repeat it. Change everything. Here's the truth. Most people fail not because they lack talent, not because they lack intelligence, but because they are stuck in repeating cycles. They procrastinate. They delay. They overthink. They allow fear, doubt, and comfort to control them. And guess what? Nothing changes until they do. Patterns don't break themselves. Habits don't reform on their own. Systems don't adjust without action. That's the key. You have to make one decision that changes the trajectory of your life. Break the pattern. Make the choice. Change everything. Let's make it real. Imagine a professional stuck in a career that drains them. Every day feels the same. Monday to Friday, endless meetings, meaningless tasks, no growth. They tell themselves, I'll change someday. I just need the right time. I just need more experience. But the truth is, waiting accomplishes nothing. Waiting reinforces the pattern. Staying stuck guarantees the same results. That's the trap. And here's the breakthrough. One decision can end it. One bold, decisive move can break the cycle completely. That's the key. Consider the professional who finally quit their job to pursue a career aligned with their passion. They didn't wait for perfect timing. They didn't wait for motivation. They didn't wait for anyone's approval. They made a single choice: to act. That decision was the catalyst. It broke years of stagnation. It broke the pattern of fear, hesitation, and mediocrity. And from that one choice, everything changed. That's the power of one decision. Break the pattern. Make the choice. Change everything. Repeat it. Change everything. Now here's the reality. Breaking a pattern is uncomfortable. It's risky. It's uncertain. Fear will rise. Doubt will scream. The mind will offer every reason to stay in the old cycle. But that's exactly why you must act. Patterns only hold power because you reinforce them by inaction. Stop reinforcing them. One decision breaks them. That's the key. Break the pattern. Make the choice. Change everything. Let's break it down. Step 1. Identify the pattern. What cycles in your life are holding you back? Is it procrastination? Is it unhealthy habits? Is it avoidance of responsibility? Be brutally honest. Write it down. Name it. Face it. That's step 1. Awareness is not enough, but it's the foundation. You have a choice. That's the key. Step 2. Identify the pivotal decision. What one choice, if made today, would disrupt this pattern? One call. One action. One commitment. It doesn't have to solve everything. It just has to break the cycle. That's the key. Break the pattern. Make the choice. Change everything. Step 3. Act immediately. Momentum is created through action, not contemplation. Don't wait for clarity. Don't wait for confidence. Don't wait for perfection. Decide now. Do something tangible that moves the needle. Send the email. Make the call. Start the project. That's how cycles break. That's how patterns shatter. Break the pattern. Make the choice. Change everything. Repeat it. Change everything. Let's reinforce with another example. A writer who had been stuck for years, avoiding publishing because of fear of criticism. One day they decided, I will submit my manuscript. That single choice disrupted years of self-doubt. That one decision created momentum. One submission led to another. One publication led to more opportunities. The cycle of fear was broken. That's the key. One decision changes everything. Break the pattern. Make the choice. Change everything. Now, here's a principle you must internalize. It's not about waiting for motivation. It's not about waiting for courage. Those feelings come after you act. Courage is built through decisions. Confidence is earned through action. Change happens when you disrupt the familiar. That's the key. Break the pattern. Make the choice. Change everything. Here's a practical method you can use today. Identify the pattern. Take a moment. Look at your life. Where are you repeating the same outcomes over and over? List it. Face it. Awareness is step 1. Choose one decisive action. Select one action that will disrupt this cycle. Make it bold but achievable. Just one. That's all it takes. Act immediately. Schedule it, do it, execute it. Don't wait. Don't rationalize. One action breaks inertia. One decision shatters the cycle. Remember, repetition reinforces learning. So repeat this mantra out loud or in your mind. Break the pattern. Make the choice. Change everything. Say it. Believe it. Act on it. The power is in the repetition and the action combined. Here's another reality check. Patterns return if not replaced with better ones. Breaking the cycle is only the first step. After you disrupt, you must build. Replace bad habits with productive systems. Replace indecision with consistent action. Replace fear with repeated courage. That's the key. Break the pattern. Make the choice. Change everything. Consider the athlete who had been failing at the same skill repeatedly. They didn't just stop failing, they analyzed, adjusted, and implemented one small change. That one decision shifted their approach. One action broke the repetitive cycle of failure. Momentum took over. Performance improved. Confidence grew. All from one pivotal decision. That's the key. You can do the same. So right now, make your choice. What is the one decision that will disrupt the pattern holding you back? It doesn't have to fix everything. It just has to break the chain. Call that client. Start that course. Quit that habit. Write that email. Step 1, step 2, step 3. One action. One decision. That's all it takes. Break the pattern. Make the choice. Change everything. And understand this. Change is not gradual when it starts with a pivotal decision. It accelerates. Momentum compounds. One decision today triggers a series of actions tomorrow. One choice disrupts fear. One action builds courage. One decision changes everything. Repeat it. Change everything. You've learned the danger of repeating old patterns. You've seen the transformative power of a single decisive action. You've discovered the path to break cycles of procrastination, fear, and failure. Now it's time to step even deeper into the mechanics of action. Because breaking the pattern is one thing, but sustaining growth, building momentum, and creating lasting results requires focus and clarity. Next, we'll explore how to harness the power of clarity in every action you take. Chapter 4: The Power of Clarity in Action. You have a choice. Right now. You can act blindly, pushing forward without direction, hoping something sticks. Or you can act with clarity. That's the key. Clarity precedes action. Action creates results. Repeat it. Action creates results. Here's the truth. Many people waste their lives moving in circles. They take action, but their efforts are scattered. They're busy but not productive. They work hard but achieve little. They confuse movement with progress. And the difference? Clarity. When you know exactly what you want and why you want it, every action compounds. Every decision matters. Every effort counts. That's the key. Clarity precedes action. Action creates results. Think about military strategies. Armies do not attack randomly. They don't scatter their forces across 50 objectives at once. They focus on one target, one objective, one decisive point. One clear goal magnifies every resource, every skill, every action. The battle is won not by doing more, it's by doing the right thing with precision. That's the lesson, and it applies to your life. Focus amplifies results. Clarity magnifies impact. That's the key. Now let's bring it to business. Successful companies don't chase every opportunity. They pick one mission, one strategy, one decisive action, and commit to it fully. Amazon focused on being the most customer-centric company in the world. Tesla focused on accelerating the world's transition to sustainable energy. Apple focused on simplicity and design. One clear objective magnified every decision, every investment, every product. That's the key. Clarity precedes action. Action creates results. Here's the danger of unclear action: wasted energy, frustration, and stagnation. You may feel productive, but without clarity, your actions are random. You may take action today and feel good about it, but if it's not aligned with your purpose, it compounds nothing. You are spinning wheels. You are trapped in busy work. That's the trap. And the solution? Clear objectives. One decisive point. Laser-focused intention. That's the key. Let's make this practical. Step 1. Define your objective. What is the one thing you want to achieve? Be specific. Vague goals produce vague results. Don't say, "I want to be successful." Decide exactly what success looks like. How will you measure it? When will you know you've achieved it? Clarity precedes action. Action creates results. Repeat it. Action creates results. Step 2. Align your actions with that objective. Every choice, every task, every effort must feed that goal. If it doesn't, it's a distraction. Delete it. Ignore it. Stop wasting time. Focus your energy on actions that compound toward your single objective. That's the key. Step 3. Eliminate noise and indecision. Uncertainty kills momentum. When you know your objective, every decision becomes simpler. Every action becomes faster. Every step becomes more powerful. You save energy. You save time. You accelerate results. That's the key. Clarity precedes action. Action creates results. Consider a real-world example. During World War II, military leaders achieved massive results not because they had more troops. They had the clearest objectives. The Allies focused on decisive targets. Every resource was aligned. Every decision reinforced the objective. That focus shortened the war and saved millions of lives. The lesson is simple. Clarity magnifies action. It transforms ordinary effort into extraordinary results. That's the key. Now let's apply this personally. Imagine your career, your business, your health, your relationships. Without a clear objective, your actions scatter. You're busy. You're stressed. You're exhausted. You see some movement, but not enough growth. With clarity, everything changes. One clear purpose aligns your choices. One focused decision amplifies your results. That's the power. That's the key. Clarity precedes action. Action creates results. Repeat it. Action creates results. Here's another practical method. Take your current goal, something you want to achieve this month, this quarter, or this year. Write it down in one sentence. Make it precise. Make it measurable. Then list 3 actions that directly feed that goal. Ignore everything else. No distractions. No excuses. Focus. Take those actions consistently. That's how momentum compounds. That's how results explode. That's the key. And remember, clarity is not static. It evolves. Review your objective regularly. Refine it. Adjust it. Learn from results. But never act without alignment. Every task, every choice, every effort must reinforce the one decisive purpose. That's the difference between wasted effort and powerful impact. That's the key. Clarity precedes action. Action creates results. Let's confront a common trap. People confuse clarity with certainty. They think they must have all answers before acting. Wrong. Clarity is about direction, not perfection. You will never know everything. You will never control every variable. You will never have perfect conditions. But with a clear objective, even imperfect actions produce compounding results. That's the key. Break indecision. Focus. Clarity precedes action. Action creates results. Repeat it. Action creates results. Here's the behavioral instruction for you today. Define the one objective. What is your single most important goal? Write it down. Make it precise. Align actions with that goal. Every task, every decision, every move must feed this objective. Delete distractions. Eliminate noise. Focus relentlessly. Take immediate, aligned action. Don't wait for motivation. Act now. One decisive step magnifies every other step. Momentum builds. Results compound. Let's reinforce this principle. Focus amplifies results. Alignment multiplies effort. Clear objectives transform ordinary action into extraordinary outcomes. Without clarity, action is wasted. With clarity, even small steps explode into progress. That's the key. Clarity precedes action. Action creates results. Repeat it. Action creates results. You've learned the importance of clarity. You've seen how focused action multiplies effort. You've understood the danger of scattered activity and the power of a single objective. Now it's time to integrate clarity into habit, into decision-making, into your systems. Because focus alone is not enough. You must convert clarity into consistent, repeatable action. Next, we'll explore how to stop proving and start doing, turning clarity into unstoppable momentum. Chapter 5. Stop proving and start doing. You have a choice. Right now. You can spend your energy seeking approval. You can spend your time trying to prove yourself to everyone around you. Or, you can take action. That's the key. Prove it to yourself, not to anyone else. Start doing now. Repeat it. Start doing now. Here's the truth. The desire to prove yourself is a trap. It keeps you stuck. It keeps you waiting for validation. It keeps you performing for others instead of creating results for yourself. You think you need permission. You think you need approval. Wrong. You don't. The world will always criticize. The world will always doubt. The world will always question your decisions. That's the reality. And the key to progress is simple. Ignore them. Prove it to yourself, not to anyone else. Start doing now. Look at innovators and entrepreneurs. Elon Musk faced ridicule for years. People said electric cars would never work. People said rockets couldn't be reusable. People said his visions were impossible. Did he listen? No. He acted. He built. He risked. And today he's redefining industries. That's the power of doing over proving. That's the key. Prove it to yourself, not to anyone else. Start doing now. Let's make it practical. Many people are paralyzed by what others think. They hesitate to start a business, to write a book, to learn a new skill, to pursue a passion, because they fear judgment. Fear is normal. Criticism is normal. But waiting for approval guarantees nothing. Waiting for permission guarantees stagnation. Action is the antidote. Start. Start imperfectly. Start consistently. That's the key. Here's another example. J.K. Rowling. She was rejected by multiple publishers. Critics told her her idea wouldn't sell. People doubted her. Did she give up? No. She kept writing. She kept submitting. She proved it to herself, not to anyone else. And the world eventually followed. That's the key. Momentum builds when you act. Momentum collapses when you seek validation. Prove it to yourself, not to anyone else. Start doing now. Let's break down why proving kills momentum. First, it shifts your focus outward. You care more about approval than results. Your energy is wasted on convincing others instead of creating value. That's the trap. Second, it delays action. You wait for praise, for recognition, for permission. Delay compounds into regret. That's the cost. Third, it weakens resilience. When criticism comes, and it always will, you're dependent on it for motivation. That's dangerous. That's why action, not approval, is the key. Prove it to yourself, not to anyone else. Start doing now. Here's a simple method to start doing today. Decide on one action that aligns with your goals. Write it down. It can be small, but it must be deliberate. Ignore external opinions. Delete distractions. Stop checking social media for validation. Stop asking for permission. Your results are proof enough. Take action immediately. Do not wait for confidence. Do not wait for motivation. Start. Momentum comes from doing. Consider another example, Steve Jobs. He faced endless doubt and criticism, even within his own company. People said the Macintosh would fail. People said the iPod would never sell. Did he listen? No. He acted. He pushed. He executed. And history remembers him as one of the greatest innovators of all time. That's the key. Action trumps approval. Prove it to yourself, not to anyone else. Start doing now. Let's reinforce this. Your time and energy are limited. Every moment spent proving yourself is a moment lost creating results. Every second wasted seeking approval is energy that could have been invested in mastery. Stop performing. Start producing. Stop proving. Start doing. That's the key. Repeat it. Start doing now. Here's a practical daily exercise. Each morning, write down the one thing that matters most. Ask yourself, am I doing this to prove it to myself or to others? Be honest. If it's for others, change the motive. Shift the focus inward. Your growth, your results, your life, these are your only measures of success. Prove it to yourself. Start doing now. And here's the hard truth. People will always criticize. They will always doubt. They will always question your choices. But action is unstoppable. Momentum ignores criticism. Momentum ignores doubt. Momentum compounds your results while approval chases you around in circles. That's the key. Prove it to yourself, not to anyone else. Start doing now. Repeat it. Start doing now. Let's confront fear. Fear of failure is real. Fear of judgment is real. But action kills fear faster than anything else. The first step is always scary. The first step always hurts. But the second step, the third step, the fourth step, they get easier because you've proven to yourself you can act. Action builds confidence. Action builds results. That's the key. Another example, Oprah Winfrey. She faced rejection, discrimination, and doubt early in her career. People told her she wouldn't succeed. Did she listen? No. She acted. She created. She kept showing up, day after day, despite criticism. Momentum built. Impact grew. Influence followed. That's the power of doing over proving. Prove it to yourself, not to anyone else. Start doing now. Here's a behavioral instruction for you today. Identify one action you've been delaying because of fear of judgment. Commit to completing it within the next 24 hours. No excuses. No permission. Focus entirely on execution. Results and proof will follow. Momentum will follow. Confidence will follow. That's the key. Remember this mantra throughout your day. Prove it to yourself, not to anyone else. Start doing now. Say it when fear arises. Say it when doubt knocks. Say it when criticism appears. Your internal focus is the engine of momentum. Your actions are the fuel. Approval is irrelevant. That's the key. You've learned the danger of seeking validation. You've seen how innovators ignored critics and created extraordinary results. You've discovered how momentum grows only through action, not approval. Now it's time to combine clarity, decisive action, and internal focus into daily systems that compound results. Next, we'll explore how to shift your focus from what you won't do to what you will do, turning intention into unstoppable progress. Chapter 6. Decide what you will, not what you won't. You have a choice. Right now. You can live reactively, trying to avoid mistakes, avoiding pain, avoiding criticism. Or, you can live proactively, focusing on what you will do, not what you won't. That's the key. Decide what you will do, not what you won't. Repeat it. Decide what you will do. Here's the truth. Most people live in avoidance. They focus on not failing. They focus on not embarrassing themselves. They focus on what could go wrong. That's fear disguised as strategy. That's hesitation disguised as caution. The problem? Avoidance doesn't create success. Avoidance doesn't create growth. Avoidance doesn't build momentum. The solution is simple. Shift focus. Focus on what you will do. That's the key. Decide what you will do, not what you won't. Think about athletes. The best performers don't focus on avoiding mistakes. They visualize executing perfectly. They focus on hitting the shot, running the play, dominating the opponent. They don't think about what could go wrong. They think about what they will do. And that mental shift produces results. It directs energy, sharpens focus, and magnifies performance. That's the lesson. That's the key. Decide what you will do, not what you won't. Let's make it practical. You might say, I just want to avoid failing. Wrong mindset. It keeps you stuck. Instead, reframe, I will take the next action. I will improve my skill. I will produce results. Focus on what you will do. The mind cannot do two things at once. Focusing on avoidance blocks execution. Focusing on action fuels momentum. That's the key. Decide what you will do, not what you won't. Repeat it. Decide what you will do. Here's a real-world example. A professional basketball player practicing free throws doesn't think, I hope I don't miss. They think, I will make this shot. That simple mental switch turns fear into focus. It aligns the mind and body toward execution. Over time, repeated focus on what they will do compounds into mastery. That's the key. Focus on execution. Decide what you will do, not what you won't. Another example, entrepreneurs starting a business. Focusing on avoiding mistakes, like losing money or embarrassing themselves, paralyzes action. Focusing on what they will do, launch the product, reach the customer, solve a problem, creates momentum. Action creates results. Fear is minimized when your attention is on execution. That's the key. Decide what you will do, not what you won't. Repeat it. Decide what you will do. Now let's break down the principle. Step 1. Identify the avoidance pattern. Where are you focusing on what you don't want instead of what you do want? Be honest. Are you holding back in your career because you don't want to fail? Are you avoiding fitness because you fear discomfort? Name it. Awareness is the first step. That's the key. Step 2. Define the proactive action. Replace avoidance with intention. Decide one thing you will do. It must be clear, specific, and actionable. Write it down. Say it aloud. Commit to it. That's how avoidance turns into action. Decide what you will do, not what you won't. Repeat it. Decide what you will do. Step 3. Act immediately. Don't overthink. Don't rationalize. Don't delay. Momentum is created by execution, not reflection. The first step is always the hardest. The second step is easier. The third step builds confidence. Action compounds. That's the key. Decide what you will do, not what you won't. Let's reinforce this with another example. Consider a musician preparing for a performance. If they focus on not making mistakes, every note becomes tense, every movement cautious, every breath hesitant. They underperform. If they focus on what they will do, express emotion, hit every note, connect with the audience, they perform with precision and power. The shift from avoidance to intention transforms results. That's the key. Decide what you will do, not what you won't. Repeat it. Decide what you will do. Here's the danger of neglecting this principle. Avoidance creates paralysis. It keeps you stuck in fear. It keeps you reactive, constantly responding to problems instead of creating solutions. It blocks growth. It limits momentum. And here's the good news. All of that changes the moment you shift focus. That's the key. Focus on action. Focus on intention. Decide what you will do, not what you won't. Here's a practical daily exercise. Each morning, write down one action you will take that day. Not what you won't do, what you will do. Visualize completing it successfully. See yourself executing perfectly. Focus on the process. Focus on intention. Take immediate action. Execute it without hesitation. No excuses. Momentum builds from this. Repeat daily. That's the key. Let's reinforce the mantra again. Decide what you will do, not what you won't. Say it aloud. Internalize it. Act on it. Let it guide every choice. Avoidance will try to sneak back in. Fear will attempt to dominate. Doubt will whisper. Ignore it. Focus forward. That's the key. Decide what you will do, not what you won't. Repeat it. Decide what you will do. Consider another real-world scenario. A young entrepreneur fears launching a product because it might fail. If they focus on avoiding failure, they delay, procrastinate, and waste resources. If they focus on what they will do, research, launch, market, improve, they build momentum, gain feedback, and grow. The results compound. Action creates progress. Avoidance compounds stagnation. That's the key. Decide what you will do, not what you won't. And here's the crucial point. Life is full of choices. Every day you can focus on fear or focus on action. You can live reactively or proactively. You can protect your comfort or pursue growth. Momentum is fueled by proactive focus, not reactive avoidance. That's the key. Decide what you will do, not what you won't. Repeat it. Decide what you will do. You've learned the trap of avoidance. You've seen how proactive focus produces results. You've discovered how elite performers and successful people operate with intention. Now it's time to combine this focus with execution, internal motivation, and momentum-building systems. Because deciding what you will do is the foundation, but consistent action amplifies the results. Next, we'll explore the cost of hesitation and why every second of indecision steals your future. Chapter 7. The silent cost of hesitation. You have a choice. Right now. You can pause. You can hesitate. You can wait for the perfect moment. Or, you can decide. That's the key. Hesitate and you pay. Decide and you win. Repeat it. Decide and you win. Here's the truth. Hesitation is expensive. Every second you delay has a measurable cost. Opportunities pass. Money slips through your fingers. Growth stagnates. Relationships weaken. Momentum disappears. The world does not wait for you. Life does not pause for your indecision. That's the harsh reality. Hesitate and you pay. Decide and you win. Think about investments. People sit on the sidelines waiting for perfect timing. They overanalyze, they procrastinate, they hesitate. Meanwhile, markets move. Opportunities vanish. Those who act decisively, even imperfectly, capture wealth and growth. Hesitation costs them real, tangible results. That's the key. Hesitate and you pay. Decide and you win. Let's make it personal. How many times have you waited to speak up, to pitch an idea, to ask for help, or to take a risk? That pause feels safe, but every second is lost potential. Every moment of indecision compounds into missed chances. That email you didn't send. That opportunity you didn't seize. That connection you didn't make. Hesitation silently drains your life. That's the key. Hesitate and you pay. Decide and you win. Consider business leaders who act decisively. Steve Jobs didn't wait for perfect conditions to launch the Macintosh or the iPhone. He made decisions, risked failure, and acted quickly. Competitors hesitated. Markets shifted. Opportunities arose, and those who hesitated lost. Action created results. Hesitation created nothing. That's the lesson. Hesitate and you pay. Decide and you win. Repeat it. Decide and you win. Here's another example. Relationships. You hesitate to express love, to apologize, to confront a problem. You wait thinking the timing must be perfect. But perfect timing rarely exists. The opportunity to connect, to heal, to grow, vanishes. Relationships erode. Moments disappear. Every hesitation is a silent cost that compounds over time. That's the key. Hesitate and you pay. Decide and you win. Now let's analyze why hesitation is so damaging. First, it kills momentum. Every delay stops progress. Second, it breeds regret. Every "I should have" accumulates, eroding confidence. Third, it limits learning. Decisions, even imperfect ones, produce feedback and growth. Hesitation produces none. That's the key. Hesitate and you pay. Decide and you win. Let's break it down into actionable steps. Step 1. Identify areas where you tend to hesitate. Career moves, health decisions, personal growth, relationships. Finance? Awareness is the first step. Write them down. Hesitation only loses power when it's recognized. That's the key. Step 2. Quantify the cost of inaction. Ask yourself, what am I losing every day I delay? Time, money, skills, relationships, health. Everything has a cost. Seeing the true price of hesitation is a wake-up call. Hesitate and you pay. Decide and you win. Step 3. Commit to decisive action. Pick one area where hesitation has been holding you back. Make a decision today. No excuses. No perfect timing. One choice. One action. Momentum begins immediately. That's the key. Hesitate and you pay. Decide and you win. Consider the stock market again. People delay buying a good investment, fearing a dip. Weeks pass. Months pass. They miss the growth. Others act decisively. They invest, they compound, they profit. Hesitation costs real money. Action produces tangible results. That's the key. Hesitate and you pay. Decide and you win. Repeat it. Decide and you win. And it's not just money. Think about skills. You hesitate to learn, to study, to practice, to execute. Opportunities for mastery pass silently. The gap between you and those who act widens. Skills compound like interest, but only if you act. Hesitate and you pay. Decide and you win. That's the key. Here's a practical exercise to break the cycle of hesitation. Identify one decision you've been delaying for too long. Small or large, it doesn't matter. Set a firm deadline. Within 24 hours, that decision must be executed. No excuses. Take action. Immediate execution is the cure for hesitation. Momentum starts here. Hesitate and you pay. Decide and you win. Let's reinforce the principle. Hesitation is silent. It doesn't make noise. It doesn't announce itself. But its consequences are real. Opportunities vanish. Growth slows. Confidence erodes. Momentum dies. The cost is ongoing, invisible, but measurable. That's the danger. The antidote? Decisive action. Hesitate and you pay. Decide and you win. Repeat it. Decide and you win. Consider another example. An entrepreneur with a new idea. They hesitate, worrying about competition or failure. Meanwhile, someone else launches. Market share is taken. First mover advantage is lost. Momentum is gone. Hesitation cost them opportunity. Action could have changed everything. That's the key. Hesitate and you pay. Decide and you win. Here's the mindset shift. Treat every decision as a compoundable opportunity. One choice leads to another. One action creates momentum. Every hesitation is a tax on your potential. Every decision builds leverage. Hesitate less. Decide more. That's the key. Hesitate and you pay. Decide and you win. You've seen the hidden cost of hesitation. You've analyzed real-world examples of lost opportunities, money, and growth. You've learned the practical steps to break the cycle: awareness, quantification, and decisive action. Now it's time to combine this with focus, clarity, and internal motivation. Because the cost of hesitation compounds, but so does the power of immediate action. Next, we'll explore the discipline of doing what others won't, and why consistency beats talent every time. Chapter 8. Systems amplify one decision. You have a choice. Right now. You can act once and hope for results. Or, you can act once and create a system that multiplies your impact indefinitely. That's the key. One decision fuels a system. A system fuels a life. Repeat it. A system fuels a life. Here's the truth. Making a single good decision is powerful, but its potential is limited if it stands alone. Momentum fades. Action loses energy. Results plateau. The difference between ordinary and extraordinary is the system you build around that decision. That's the key. One decision fuels a system. A system fuels a life. Think about entrepreneurs like Tim Ferriss. He didn't just make decisions randomly. He applied the 80-20 principle, focusing on the few actions that deliver the most results, and built routines around them. Those small, intentional systems amplified every decision he made. One choice to focus on the vital few became a life of leverage and impact. That's the lesson. That's the key. One decision fuels a system. A system fuels a life. Let's make it personal. You've made a decision to improve your health, career, or personal growth. That's great. But without a system, it's fragile. Without routines, reminders, habits, accountability, your results are limited. You rely on motivation. You rely on willpower. And that fades. Systems remove that reliance. Systems ensure consistency. That's the key. One decision fuels a system. A system fuels a life. Repeat it. A system fuels a life. Here's how to build a system around a single decision. Anchor the system to one decision. Choose the pivotal action that matters most. For example, I will write 500 words daily, or I will save 5% of income monthly. Every other component of the system supports this decision. That's the key. Break it into repeatable routines. Systems thrive on repetition. If your decision is health, your routines may include meal prep, scheduled workouts, and sleep tracking. If it's career, your routines may include daily study, skill practice, and networking. One decision becomes multiple, aligned actions. Automate and reinforce. Use reminders, habits, tools, and accountability to ensure the system runs, even when motivation wanes. Systems take energy off the table and make results inevitable. That's the key. One decision fuels a system. A system fuels a life. Let's bring in a real-world example. Consider an investor who decides to save and invest 10% of every paycheck. Alone, this is a strong choice. But when paired with a system, automated transfers, monthly portfolio reviews, and education, they compound wealth efficiently. Momentum builds. Returns multiply. Success becomes inevitable. That's the key. One decision fuels a system. A system fuels a life. Repeat it. A system fuels a life. Another example, athletes. One decision, to train, to improve a skill, to focus on performance, becomes powerful when embedded in a system. Daily routines, nutrition, visualization, recovery, coaching, they all amplify that one decision. Results compound, skills accelerate, confidence grows. Without a system, the single decision is fragile. With a system, it dominates. That's the key. Here's why systems work. They remove reliance on willpower, they reduce decision fatigue, they ensure consistency, and they compound effort over time. One action repeated becomes a habit. One habit repeated becomes identity. One identity repeated becomes life-changing results. That's the key. One decision fuels a system. A system fuels a life. Repeat it. A system fuels a life. Let's analyze the mental component. Systems free the mind. You no longer ask, will I do it today? You act because the system is in place. Action becomes automatic. Momentum is guaranteed. The single decision becomes unstoppable because the system enforces consistency. That's the key. One decision fuels a system. A system fuels a life. Here's a practical method for you today. Pick one pivotal decision you want to maximize. Career growth? Health? Learning a skill? Choose one. Create 3 to 5 routines that support this decision. Make them repeatable, measurable, and simple. For example, if your decision is fitness, routines could be morning workouts, weekly meal prep, and nightly stretching. Set accountability mechanisms. Track results, use reminders, partner with someone, or journal progress. Let the system enforce consistency. Momentum compounds naturally. That's the key. One decision fuels a system. A system fuels a life. Repeat it. A system fuels a life. Consider one more example, Warren Buffett. His decision to invest wisely is magnified by systems. Daily reading, disciplined research, avoiding impulsive moves, and consistent reinvestment. The single decision is amplified over decades into billions of dollars. Systems turn single decisions into exponential outcomes. That's the key. And here's the critical insight. Most people wait for motivation to act. They wait for the perfect moment or perfect idea. But motivation is fleeting. One decision without a system is fragile. Systems lock in results even when motivation disappears. Systems create consistency, compounding, and unstoppable momentum. That's the key. One decision fuels a system. A system fuels a life. Repeat it. A system fuels a life. Now let's reinforce the mantra. Every decision you make can be amplified by a system. Momentum is a system built around intentional decisions. Habits are systems built around repeated action. Success is a system built around clarity, discipline, and focus. One decision fuels a system. A system fuels a life. Say it. Internalize it. Act on it. Repeat it daily. A system fuels a life. You've learned how to magnify the power of one decision. You've seen examples from business, investing, and athletics. You've discovered practical steps to build routines, reinforce accountability, and create compounding momentum. Now it's time to combine this with consistency, courage, and daily action to dominate results. Next, we'll explore the discipline others refuse and why consistent effort separates the mediocre from the extraordinary. Chapter 9. Momentum is your superpower. You have a choice. Right now. You can wait, you can hesitate, you can overthink. Or, you can act. That's the key. Momentum starts with one choice. One step. One action. Keep moving. Repeat it. Keep moving. Here's the truth. Momentum is not magic. Momentum is created. Momentum is earned. Momentum begins with a single, decisive action. That's it. One step. One choice. One movement forward. Everything else compounds from there. Momentum feeds confidence, resilience, and courage. Momentum turns ordinary action into extraordinary results. That's the key. Momentum starts with one choice. One step. One action. Keep moving. Think about athletes. They don't start with championship victories. They start with practice, one drill at a time, one rep at a time. The first step is always the hardest. But once it's taken, the second becomes easier. The third faster. The fourth stronger. Momentum compounds. Confidence grows. Fear diminishes. That's the key. Momentum starts with one choice. One step. One action. Keep moving. Consider entrepreneurs. They don't begin by building empires. They begin by making the first call, sending the first email, launching the first product. The first move often feels small, almost meaningless. But once action begins, it accelerates. Opportunities arise. Decisions compound. Growth multiplies. Momentum is unstoppable when you start. That's the key. Momentum starts with one choice. One step. One action. Keep moving. Repeat it. Keep moving. Here's the danger of waiting. Indecision kills momentum. Hesitation drains energy. Fear freezes action. You may feel ready, but the world doesn't wait. The longer you pause, the heavier the first step becomes. The first step always requires courage, but once taken, it ignites motion. Momentum becomes your ally. That's the key. Momentum starts with one choice. One step. One action. Keep moving. Let's make it practical. Step 1. Pick one decisive action today. It doesn't need to solve everything. It doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to move the needle. Call the client. Submit the proposal. Start the workout. Send the application. That's the spark. Momentum starts here. That's the key. Step 2. Take action immediately. Don't wait for confidence. Don't wait for clarity. Don't wait for perfect timing. Action creates momentum. Momentum creates confidence. Confidence fuels courage. Courage drives further action. It's a cycle. Once it starts, it feeds itself. Momentum is unstoppable. That's the key. Momentum starts with one choice. One step. One action. Keep moving. Step 3. Reinforce consistency. Momentum thrives on repeated action. One step followed by another. One choice compounded by another. Small actions repeated daily create exponential growth. The first step is critical, but the next step is where results truly accelerate. That's the key. Momentum starts with one choice. One step. One action. Keep moving. Here's a real-world example. An entrepreneur hesitant to launch a product finally takes one step. They send the first email to a potential client. That single action leads to a meeting. That meeting leads to a sale. That sale leads to revenue. That revenue funds expansion. The chain reaction started with one small, decisive action. That's the power of momentum. That's the key. Another example. An athlete struggling with skill improvement decides to commit to a single drill each day. One drill, one session, one improvement. Momentum compounds. Confidence builds. Fear disappears. Skills accelerate. Achievements multiply. Momentum transforms effort into mastery. That's the key. Momentum starts with one choice, one step, one action. Keep moving. Repeat it. Keep moving. Let's break down why momentum is a superpower. Momentum reduces friction. Every successive action becomes easier once the first step is taken. Fear and doubt weaken with movement. Energy multiplies. Progress accelerates. Momentum builds confidence. Action proves to yourself that you can. Repetition confirms it. Each step reinforces belief in your ability. Confidence compounds. Momentum fosters resilience. Once you are moving, setbacks hurt less. You are already in motion. You adapt faster. You recover quicker. Momentum makes obstacles smaller. Here's a practical exercise to harness momentum today. Identify one small but decisive action. One that creates forward motion. Execute it immediately without overthinking. No hesitation. One step. Done. Plan the next 3 follow-up actions that build on the first. Momentum will carry you forward. That's the key. Momentum starts with one choice, one step, one action. Keep moving. Consider a final example. Thomas Edison. He faced thousands of failures before inventing the light bulb. Each failure was an action taken, a test performed. Momentum built with each experiment. Confidence grew with every small success. The final breakthrough was the result of sustained, compounding action. That's the key. Momentum starts with one choice, one step, one action. Keep moving. Remember, momentum is invisible until it's broken. You may feel like progress is slow. You may doubt the impact of a single step. Ignore it. Action compounds in ways you cannot see. The first step is always undervalued. The second step, when added, multiplies results. The third step, the fourth, the fifth, they explode your capacity. Momentum is your superpower. That's the key. Let's reinforce the mantra again. Momentum starts with one choice, one step, one action. Keep moving. Say it. Internalize it. Execute it. Let it guide every decision. Hesitation cannot compete with action. Fear cannot compete with momentum. Results multiply when motion is constant. Repeat it. Keep moving. You've learned the importance of starting, the cost of hesitation, and the compounding power of systems. You've seen examples from athletes, entrepreneurs, and innovators who succeeded by starting small but decisive. Now it's time to integrate momentum with clarity, focus, and discipline. Because momentum, once started, is unstoppable, but only if you continue moving. Next, we'll explore the final chapter, how one decision defines your life, tying all the principles together into a system for lifelong growth and fulfillment. Chapter 10. Make today your turning point. You have a choice. Right now. You can wait for tomorrow. You can hesitate. You can overthink. Or, you can decide. That's the key. Decide today. Decide now. Decide for your life. Repeat it. Decide for your life. Here's the truth. Every transformation starts with one decision. One choice. One moment when you refuse to wait, refuse to delay, and refuse to let fear dictate your future. That one decision can redefine your career, your health, your relationships, and your self-worth. That's the power you hold right now. Decide today. Decide now. Decide for your life. Think about real people who changed everything with one choice. A professional stuck in a dead-end job decided to start learning a new skill. 6 months later, they launched a new career. A woman struggling with health chose one small habit, walking 30 minutes a day. Over a year, she lost weight, gained energy, and rebuilt her confidence. An entrepreneur decided to pitch an idea he was scared to share. That single action led to funding, growth, and a business that changed his life. One decision, one step, one turning point. That's the key. Decide today. Decide now. Decide for your life. Let's integrate the lessons we've covered. Stop waiting, start deciding. Don't delay. The moment is now. Waiting guarantees nothing. Action creates everything. Decide today. Decide now. Decide for your life. The hidden cost of small choices. Every tiny decision compounds. Every day counts. Don't underestimate the power of small steps taken consistently. Decide today. Decide now. Decide for your life. Break the pattern. One decisive choice can shatter procrastination and failure loops. Action interrupts cycles of stagnation. Momentum begins. Decide today. Decide now. Decide for your life. Clarity precedes action. Be precise about your objective. Focus magnifies impact. Alignment multiplies results. Decide today. Decide now. Decide for your life. Stop proving and start doing. Ignore critics. Focus on results. Act boldly. Prove it to yourself. Decide today. Decide now. Decide for your life. Decide what you will, not what you won't. Focus on proactive action. Avoid reactive avoidance. Direct energy toward execution. Decide today. Decide now. Decide for your life. The silent cost of hesitation. Every second of indecision steals opportunity. Delay compounds regret. Move now. Decide today. Decide now. Decide for your life. Systems amplify one decision. Build routines around your pivotal choice. Systems compound action and ensure consistency. Decide today. Decide now. Decide for your life. Momentum is your superpower. One step creates another. One choice compounds into unstoppable forward motion. Momentum feeds confidence, courage, and growth. Decide today. Decide now. Decide for your life. Now it's time to take everything you've learned and apply it. Don't wait. Don't hesitate. Don't overthink. Identify the one life-changing decision you've been avoiding. It could be career-related, health-related, financial, or personal. One decision is all it takes. Decide today. Decide now. Decide for your life. Repeat it. Decide for your life. Here's a practical exercise to make today your turning point. Identify your one decision. Be specific. Write it down. Make it measurable. Make it actionable. Commit publicly or internally. Tell a friend, journal it, or say it aloud. Commitment turns intention into accountability. Take the first step immediately. Don't wait for clarity or motivation. One small action starts the chain reaction. Momentum will follow. Build a supporting system. Set routines, reminders, and habits that reinforce this decision. Systems make results inevitable. Consider a final real-world example. Sarah, a single mother, had been living paycheck to paycheck for years. One day she decided to start freelancing in her spare time. She committed to 1 hour of work every evening. That small, consistent action led to new clients, higher income, and eventually the freedom to leave her old job. One decision reshaped her life completely. That's the power in your hands. Decide today. Decide now. Decide for your life. Here's the mantra: decide today. Decide now. Decide for your life. Say it aloud. Repeat it whenever doubt arises. Repeat it whenever fear creeps in. Internalize it. Let it fuel action. Momentum builds with each step. Clarity guides it. Discipline sustains it. Systems amplify it. Action compounds it. Results are inevitable. That's the key. And here's the final truth. You don't need permission. You don't need perfect timing. You don't need confidence to start. All you need is the decision to begin. That's enough. That one choice is the turning point that separates the life you have from the life you deserve. Decide today. Decide now. Decide for your life. Repeat it. Decide for your life. Before we close, remember this. Every principle we've discussed, decisive action, clarity, focus, momentum, systems, avoidance of hesitation, internal motivation, is meaningless without execution. Knowledge without action is wasted potential. You've learned. You've internalized. Now it's time to act. Decide today. Decide now. Decide for your life. If this audiobook has inspired you, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more transformative content. Hit the bell so you never miss a lesson designed to change your life. Every video here is a step toward growth, momentum, and the person you're capable of becoming. Take action now. Subscribe. Decide for your life. Now take a deep breath, focus, and commit. Your future starts the moment you decide. One choice, one step, one action, one turning point. That's all it takes. Decide today. Decide now. Decide for your life. Repeat it. Decide for your life.